So just to recap on what we've been able to cover so far, we've been able to get to know what insurance is all about. We've also been able to know the different types of insurance. We've also been able to look at the different types of vehicles involved when purchasing insurance. Now, in this class, we want to dive into now the practical aspects of insurance, and we'll start with how to purchase vehicle insurance. So for this, we need to first be able to understand what type of insurance do we need for a vehicle. As you can remember earlier, we were able to discuss the two main types of insurance which are being sold or being marketed by the insurance companies. And we said it's either third party only insurance or the comprehensive insurance. And we also noted that most companies or most individuals are less willing to consider the third party fire and theft insurance. So now once we've been able to identify this, it's good now to gauge what do we need for a vehicle. So are we either buying the third party only insurance or are we getting the comprehensive insurance? So for us to be able to understand this, we also need to look at factors such as the cost implied by getting this insurance and the needs related to us as the vehicle owner or other stakeholders with interest on our vehicle. So for third party, this is the cheapest type of insurance which you can purchase, and the pricing is straightforward. For the private vehicles, it's a specified amount irrespective of the type of vehicle which you have and irrespective of the value of your vehicle. So this third party insurance, it's mainly purchased by people who are willing to repair their vehicle in the event of a loss, and they want to comply with the Traffic Act, get their vehicle on the road, but in the event of an accident, they're willing to take care of all the cost in the event that they are to blame. If they're not to blame, now they become the third parties and they have to claim from the other person's insurance company which was involved in an accident with them, if the other person was to blame. But the event that you are to blame as the vehicle owner, you should be ready and willing to compensate yourself and repair your own vehicle. And also the event that your vehicle is stolen or has damages caused by fire, you're willing and able to repair this. For the private vehicles and the motorcycles, it's a specified amount. For the private motorcycles, you can pay either annually or monthly, which will be able to look at practical examples from some of the selected insurance companies. For commercials, on the other hand, they're mainly charged for the third party insurance. They're mainly charged based on the tonnage. So they look at how many tons does your vehicle weigh. So this is also an assessment of maybe the nature of the risk involved with the vehicle. So lighter vehicles tend in most circumstances to have a lower loss caused in the event of an accident as compared to the heavy commercial ones. So for pricing of third party in commercials, this is purely dependent on the tonnage, and each insurance company has a rate card for which they charge on this. Now straight into comprehensive insurance. So for comprehensive, this is calculated based on a percentage of the value of your vehicle. So the reason why this is so is in the event of a loss or a total loss, the person whose value or the vehicle value was lower is compensated a lower amount than the person whose vehicle value was higher. So in terms of pricing, the person with a lower valued vehicle has to pay less than the person with a higher valued vehicle. So for comprehensive insurance, the pricing system generally cuts across board. It's the same formula, just depending on the rates. And these rates are provided by the insurance companies, and they're different, but they're set based mainly on vehicle value at the time of getting the insurance. Some insurance companies also have additional differentiating factors. So let's say in the event that you're purchasing comprehensive insurance for your private vehicle, some insurance companies might charge you differently depending on the make of your vehicle. So they might consider some vehicles higher risks. So some of the vehicles considered as high risk by some insurance companies include Subarus, mainly due to their speeding habits or their speeding tendencies. You can have vehicles such as the Sienta, the Probox, the Succeed, the Noah. These are charged higher due to some instances people purchase the private insurance and they end up ferrying passengers with it, which is also illegal, but this causes a high probability of losses because the vehicle is more active on the road. So some insurance companies, since they don't have a metric of how to mitigate this, they charge higher for these types of vehicles for them to be able to cover the risk involved. And one important thing to note is in terms of pricing, it's also good for you to be able to compare different insurance companies. So different insurance companies offer different rates. Some are favorable, some are non-favorable, depending on the nature of the vehicle involved while getting this insurance. So to recap what we've covered here, we've covered the general understanding of how pricing is done. For the third party, we noted that it's a specified amount for private vehicles and motorcycles. It's a fixed amount irrespective of the make or the value. For commercials, we've noted that the pricing for third party is based purely on the tonnages. And it's also good to note that for the commercials, in the event that your vehicle has a higher risk, let's say it carries flammable goods, there might be a separate pricing factor involved, which we'll be able to look at when having a look at some of the practical aspects within the insurance companies. Then we've talked about comprehensive insurance. The pricing is mainly based on the vehicle, or rather the motorcycle, and on the vehicle value. So in the event that your vehicle has a higher value, there's a tendency that for you to pay more for this. Now, once you've understood that, now you have the key foundation of how the pricing works. So in the next class, we'll dive into a practical aspect of purchasing insurance, and we'll also look at additional benefits which can be purchased when getting the different types of insurance.